Hello children, we are in the second chapter, Is Matter Around Us Pure? In the previous video, we learnt about elements and compounds. Okay, so what are elements? Elements are those which are made up of only one kind of atoms. Like copper. Okay, copper is made up of only copper atoms. Elements exist in solid, liquid and gaseous form. So majority of the elements are present in solid form. We have 11 elements in gas and 2 elements exist in liquid form. There is mercury and bromine. Okay. Elements can be divided into 3 categories: metals, non-metals and metalloids. Okay, we learned about properties of metals, non-metals and metalloids. Okay, so let's take a quick recap. Properties of metals are they are malleable, ductile, good conductors of heat and electricity and are sonorous. Properties of non-metal, they are non-malleable, non-ductile, bad conductors of heat and electricity and they are not sonorous. Then metalloids. What are metalloids? Okay, metalloids, they show properties of both metals as well as non-metals. They look like metal but they are brittle like non-metal. Example: boron, silicon, germanium. We even learned about compounds. So what are compounds? They are made up of 2 or more elements. Okay. So when 2 or more elements chemically combine in a fixed proportion by mass, we get compound. Example: water. Water is a compound. It is made up of water molecules and water molecules contain hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. Now today in this video we will learn about properties of compound, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures, properties of mixtures, and we will compare the properties of both compound and mixture. Okay, so let's start. We'll start with properties of compound. Now compound, over here we have iron filings. Okay, it is made from iron. Sulfur powder. So when iron filings and sulfur powder are chemically combined, it means when we heat iron filings and sulfur powder, we get a black color compound called iron sulfide. Okay, the chemical symbol of iron sulfide is FeS. Fe stands for iron and S stands for sulfur. Okay, so here we are heating iron filings and sulfur powder and we get a black color compound called as iron sulfide. Now using this example, we will study the properties of compound. The first property: a compound cannot be separated into its component by physical methods. Now what do you mean by components? Component means the various substances that are present in a mixture or in a compound. Like iron sulfide compound. So what are the various substances? We have iron filings and sulfur powder. So they both are the components. Okay. Now this property says that we cannot separate the components from a compound by physical method. Now our compound is what? Iron sulfide. It is made up of iron and sulfur. Let us see if we can separate iron and sulfur from this compound. Now iron is magnetic. Let us see if we place a magnet. Okay, if we bring a magnet near this compound, let us see iron filings will attract or not. Now if I bring a magnet near this compound, iron filings will not stick to this magnet. Why? Because iron filings and sulfur, they are combined together. So we cannot separate iron filings from this compound. Now, if I use a solution called carbon disulfide, and if I add this solution to the compound, so on adding, what will happen? Neither sulfur nor iron will dissolve in this compound. So no reaction takes place. So when you add carbon disulfide, no reaction takes place in the compound. Okay. So from this I can say that either by using magnet or carbon disulfide, we cannot separate iron filings and sulfur from this compound. Okay. So we can conclude that the components cannot be separated by any physical method. Okay. The second property, the formation of a compound is a chemical change. Now here what are we doing? We take iron filings and sulfur powder and we heat them. So here, as you start heating, lot of heat and light is given out. Okay, so formation of compound, it involves heat. Either heat is given out or heat is absorbed in. Okay, so there is some sort of reaction taking place. So we say that formation of compound is a chemical change. Third property, the composition of a compound is fixed. The constituents are present in a fixed proportion by mass. Now, to prepare iron sulfide compound, okay, we take 7 grams of iron and 4 grams of sulfur and they are heated. Okay, so we take the components or constituents in a fixed proportion, that is 7 grams of iron and 4 grams of sulfur, and we heat it. So when we heat it, we get a black color compound and it looks same throughout. So the composition is fixed. Now what if we add extra iron or sulfur? Now instead of 7 gram, if I take 8 gram of ions and 4 gram of sulfur, so what will happen? So only 7 gram of iron and 4 gram of sulfur will react with each other. The extra iron will remain unreacted. Is it clear? So iron sulfide is made up of only 2 elements, that is iron and sulfur. Okay, the components are always present in fixed proportion and the composition of compound is fixed. The fourth property, a compound has a fixed melting and boiling point. Okay, because over here the two components, they are chemically combined, so they will not show, iron will not show its temperature separately or sulfur will not show its temperature. A compound has a fixed temperature. Okay, so we can say that a compound has a fixed melting or boiling point. Okay, and the last property, a compound is homogeneous substance. Now when you look at this compound, okay, when you look, take a magnifying glass and look at this compound, you can see that this compound looks same throughout. Okay, we cannot see more of iron or more of sulfur at any part. It looks same throughout. Okay, so we can say that a compound is homogeneous substance. Okay, I hope you have understood. Let's take a quick recap. Okay, so the first property was the components of a compound cannot be separated by any physical method. Second one, the formation of a compound is a chemical change. Okay. Third one, the composition of compound is fixed and the components are present in fixed proportion by mass. Fourth one, a compound has fixed temperature, that is fixed melting and boiling point. And the fifth point, a compound is homogeneous substance. Okay? Now let us start with mixture. So what is mixture? We have already learned when two or more different kinds of particles are mixed together. Or I can say when two or more pure substances are mixed together. Okay? And when they are mixed together, they are not chemically combined. Okay? In mixtures, the components are not chemically combined. Gas, we know air. We know the air around us is made up of various types of gases, right? We have nitrogen gas, oxygen, carbon dioxide, argon and water vapor. Okay, so our gas, the air is made up of various gases and these various gases are not chemically combined. Okay, all solutions are mixtures. It's a salt solution, sugar solution, okay, all solutions are mixture. Sea water, it is all mixture. The various substances present in a mixture are known as constituents or components of the mixture. Just now I told you what are components, the various substances that are present in a mixture. Now I have salt solution. It is made up of salt and water. Okay, so the various components are salt and water. Okay, some common examples of mixtures are air, seawater, milk, ink, petrol, paint, glass, coal, soil, wood, blood, butter, cheese, face cream, hair cream, smoke, fog, hairspray, chalk water, oil in water, sand in water. These are all mixtures. Okay. Now there are two types of mixtures. The first one is homogeneous mixture. Okay. Homo means what? Same. So let us find out what does homogeneous mixture mean. Okay. Those mixtures in which the substances are completely mixed together and are indistinguishable from one another. Okay, so homo means the components are all mixed together and you cannot distinguish one component from another. Okay. Example, lemonade. Now this lemonade, look here, it looks same throughout. Okay, so lemonade is made, we use to prepare lemonade, we use lemon juice, sugar, water and a pinch of salt. So in this, when you mix all these ingredients together, we get lemonade. Okay, so in this, all the substances are mixed together and we cannot distinguish lemon juice from water or sugar from water. Okay, it has uniform composition throughout. So when you look at this, it looks same throughout. Okay, if you take 1 spoon of lemonade from the top part, or if you drink 1 spoon of lemonade from the bottom part, it will have the same taste. It will be equal in taste. It has no visible boundaries of separation between the various components. Now in this lemonade, can you see any boundary of separation? Can we see any boundary? No, right? So there is no separating boundary. All homogeneous mixtures are called solution. Okay, So example is seawater, sugar solution, salt solution, lemonade, vinegar, soda water. These are all examples of homogeneous mixtures. The next one is heterogeneous mixtures. Now hetero means what? It means different. So let us see the definition. Those mixtures in which the substances remain separate and one substance is spread throughout the other substance as small particles, droplets or bubbles. So in this, the substances, they are not mixed together. They remain separate. Okay. Example, if I take chalk powder and dissolve it in, mix it in water. So what will happen? The chalk and the water, they will not mix together. They will remain separate. And you can see chalk particles, they spread in the water in the form of small particles. Okay. Over here we have an example of oil in water. So you can see the substances are not mixed together. The components, they remain separate. It does not have a uniform composition throughout its mass. So when you look at this picture, does it look same throughout? No. The composition is not same. If I take the top part, I will get only oil. If I take the bottom part, I will only get water. Okay, so it does not look same throughout. It has visible boundaries of separation between the various components. So you can clearly see in this picture, there is a boundary of separation. We can see oil on the top part and water on the bottom. All suspensions and colloids are heterogeneous mixtures. Now we will learn about suspension, colloids and solution in the coming videos, and that too in detail. Okay, so hope you have understood what are mixtures. Okay, mixtures. Okay, what are mixtures? When two or more pure substances mix together but not chemically, they are called as mixtures. We have homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homo means same. Okay, it has uniform composition, no visible boundary of separation. Okay, and they are called as solution. Heterogeneous, so no uniform composition, we can see visible boundary of separation, and all suspension and colloids are called heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, example, oil and water. Can say sand and sugar mixture, chalk and water, okay, polluted air. These are all examples of heterogeneous mixtures. Butter, cheese, face cream. Okay, these are all examples of heterogeneous mixtures. Now we'll start with the properties of mixture. Over here we have iron filings. So when we combine iron filings with sulfur powder, we get a grayish yellow color mixture. Okay, now remember, over here we have only mixed iron filings and sulfur powder. Okay, there is no heating done. There is only mixing. Now we will take this grayish yellow mixture as our example to study the properties of mixture. The first property, a mixture can be separated into its component by physical methods. Now I said mixture is made up of iron filings and sulfur. So we can separate iron filings and sulfur. Now if I use magnet, if I bring magnet close to this mixture, iron being magnetic, it will stick to the magnet, but sulfur will remain separate. Okay, so in this way I can get iron filing separately and sulfur powder separately. if I add carbon disulfide, okay, if I add carbon disulfide to this mixture, what will happen? The sulfur will dissolve in this carbon disulfide solution, and iron particles, that is iron filings, will settle at the bottom. So we can filter. So as you filter, we will get iron filings separately, and we can get sulfur by evaporating carbon disulfide. Okay, so we can separate the components of a mixture, okay, either by using a magnet or by using carbon disulfide solution. The second property, formation of a mixture is a physical change. Now over here we are not heating anything, we're just mixing them, so no heat is given out or taken in during this reaction. So the formation of mixture is a physical change. Third property, the composition of a mixture is variable. The components can be present in any proportion by mass. Over here we can take any amount of iron and sulfur. We can take 10 grams of iron, we can take 4 grams of sulfur, we can mix it and a mixture is prepared. Okay, so the composition is not fixed, it is variable. It can be present in any amount. A mixture does not have a fixed melting and boiling point, okay, because they are not chemically combined. So iron will melt at its temperature, and sulfur will melt at its temperature. See, they do not have a fixed temperature, and because of that reason they do not have a fixed melting and boiling point. A mixture is usually heterogeneous substance. Now if you look at this mixture, okay, you can find that at some parts we have more of iron filings, at some part we have more of sulfur powder. So it does not look same throughout. Okay, so a mixture is usually heterogeneous substance. So let's take a quick recap. So what is the first property? In first property, the components of a mixture can be separated. Okay, we can separate the components of a mixture by any physical method. It can be by evaporation, filtration, by magnet. Okay. Second property, the formation of mixture is a physical change. Third property, the composition of mixture is not fixed, it is variable, and even the components are present in any proportion. A mixture does not have fixed temperature, that is fixed melting or boiling point, and mixture is usually heterogeneous substance. Okay, I will compare the properties of both mixture and compound. So in mixture, the first comparison is we can separate the components by physical method, and in compound we cannot separate the components by physical method. Second comparison, formation of mixture is a physical change, and in compound it is a chemical change. Third comparison, composition of a mixture is variable, that means it is not fixed, and the components are present in any proportion by mass. In compound it is just opposite, the composition is fixed and the components are present in fixed proportion by mass. Okay. The fourth comparison, mixtures does not have fixed melting and boiling point. So compound, it will be compound what? it has a fixed melting and boiling point. The fifth comparison, a mixture is usually heterogeneous and compound is usually homogeneous substance. Okay, I hope you have understood what we have learned in this video. Okay, so we learned about properties of compound, properties of mixtures. We learned what is homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures and comparison of properties of compound and mixtures. Okay, thank you children.